Fanny Farmer was an American candy manufacturer and retailer that opened in 1919 and closed in 2004. A Canadian businessman, Frank O'Connor, founded Fanny Farmer in 1919 with a shop on East Main Street in downtown Rochester. O'Connor had started the Laura Secord candy shops in Toronto 6 years earlier, with his first in 1913 at 354 Yonge Street. The company was named after Fanny Merritt Farmer, who was born in Medford in 1857, a well-known cookbook author and founder of the Boston Cooking School. The spelling of the first name was altered to avoid confusion. The store actually had nothing to do with Fanny Farmer or the cookbooks for which she was famous for, but rather was named in honor of the culinary expert as a marketing device because it suggested a high standard of quality. The little old-fashioned white front Fanny Farmer candy shop with a black-on-white sign, friendly white ruffled curtains at the windows, little white lighthouse blinking its greetings of welcome, gleaming white counters with many delicious candies, and interesting nutmegs from all corners of the world, largely remained unchanged for over 25 years. The company was known for their flavors of candies, buttercreams, maple walnut, parfait bars, almond bark, and orange creams, to name a few. John D. Hayes was president of the company for many years, from its earliest years through the 1950s. He was a shrewd businessman and guided the company through some difficult times. The Rochester factory, Fanny Farmer's officials called their factory studios, was at the corner of Griffith Street and South Avenue. Additional studios and shops quickly sprung up throughout the country, and the product was an immediate hit. During the Great Depression, when the candy business had its back to the wall, Hayes slashed retail prices. Sales climbed 150%, and Fanny Farmer stayed in business. During its heyday, though, Fanny Farmer Candy was the largest manufacturing retailer of candy in the country. The company was known for its tradition and its quality. During World War II, the company rationed its products for the home front so that the military could get much-needed sweets. In 1962, a proxy fight resulted in a group of New York City and New England investors seizing control of Fanny Farmer. That same year, stores continued to open and flourish. A new store that opened in Midtown Plaza was the company's 415th store. The studio at Griffith and South Avenues closed in 1967, but the stores kept going. A 1967 Times Union story headlined "Sweet Jobs Fading Away," describing the factory's last days. The original Rochester Candy Factory building was later leased to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and it burned down in 1977. But Fanny Farmer maintained its presence in the Rochester area for decades later. Fanny Farmer still had 9 stores in the Rochester area by 1990. In 1992, Fanny Farmer Company was bought by the Archibald Candy Company at the time. The chain had 200 retail stores in the northeastern United States, and it would be a sister brand to its own Fannie Mae Candies, sold primarily in the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic United States. Archibald became the largest chain of candy retailers in the country. However, the candy company would suffer some financial setbacks because it was operating without adequate financing and a viable corporate strategy. It resulted in 2 bankruptcies, the first one in 2002. The last 3 Rochester area stores in the Marketplace Mall, the Greece Ridge Center, and Panorama Plaza closed in early 2004. And in 2004, after Archibald filed for bankruptcy, Alpine Confections purchased Archibald out of receivership, merged Fanny Farmer into Fannie Mae, and moved production to its own Green, Ohio-based Harry London Candies, which had been acquired a year earlier. Fannie Mae was reopened in October of 2004 with 45 retail outlets. The retail chain under the Fanny Farmer name would be dissolved. Today, 1-800-Flowers, the successor corporation, sells Fannie Mae and Fanny Farmer products. So what do you remember about this place? Leave a comment or a suggestion for a future video below. And if you haven't already, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.
Bringing back memories from the good old days. That's super cool, man.